As we've reported on Saturday, the Palestinian terror group Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israel. Happened during a music festival. Militants killed hundreds of Israelis, including civilians.
After the attack, people around the world started to make their voices heard and organize rallies, some in support of Israel, others in support of Palestinians. And one pro-Palestine rally in New York City was condemned by a number of American politicians who say the event promoted anti-Semitism.
The crowd chanted, quote, "Resistance is justified when people are occupied." The Democratic Socialists of America, the largest socialist organization in the United States, was criticized for endorsing the rally, and now members of the DSA are reacting.
Among the voices opposing the DSA is Democratic Representative Shri Thanedar, who announced he would no longer be affiliated with that group. And he joins us tonight to discuss. Thank you for being here, Congressman.
You're welcome.
So, the word socialism is very much a trigger word for many people in the United States, even when preceded by democratic. So first, could you briefly explain what led you to initially affiliate yourself with the group and why leave now in such a public manner?
Well, look, I grew up in poverty, and it is important that we close the wealth gap in America, create opportunities for those who are at the bottom of the economic ladder. And that's why I joined the Democratic Society of America to work and help close this wealth gap and focus on helping people.
And why leave now? And especially in such a public way?
Well, look, the New York rally that was organized by the DSA, there was chants about and cheering of the deaths in Israel. There was anti-Semitic talk. The whole rally did not recognize that this was a terrorist attack. More Jewish people were killed in this massacre, this murder, since the Holocaust. And the seriousness of this issue was not recognized by DSA. They tried to glorify what clearly looks like terrorism in its worst form. Families, children, elderly were, shot in their homes. 40 or so babies were beheaded. Such gruesome terrorism, and DSA ignored that, called it resistance, tried to glorify it. And look, I could not stand that anymore. I do not want to be a part of this organization that has such deep-rooted hatred of deep-rooted anti-Semitism, and I had to get myself out of this organization. So I renounced my membership in the Democratic Socialists of America.
Yeah, those images out of Israel have been hard to digest. With you renouncing your membership and affiliation with this group, what kind of message are you hoping to send to the people?
Well, look, being a socialist, being a progressive, does not mean you have to be anti-Semitic. And I think these groups need to search soul and rethink about their purpose. And they need to understand the terror. I was in Israel. I spent about a week there in August, and I talked with many citizens in Israel, and their fear. Children were taught how to go to the bomb shelters when the siren goes off. Their everyday life is life living in terror. And this terrorism, and Hamas has created an atrocious act, heinous acts. And we need to protest them at the highest level. And we need to stand by Israel as our ally, as the democracy in this dangerous part of the world.
So, Congressman, I think a lot of people are mistakenly equating Hamas, the militant group, the terror group, with Palestinian people as a whole. Do you think now is the time, or now is an appropriate time, for people to stand up in support of Palestinians, making sure that they're noting the difference?
Yes, the ordinary people, the 2.3 million Palestinian ordinary people, they are not Hamas. They have a right to live a good life. They need to have human rights. But Hamas is a totally terrorist organization that controls the Gaza Strip. And it is Hamas, which is funded by Iran, that has conducted such terroristic attacks. And we must protest. We must hold Hamas accountable. And when the government of Israel wants to go and eliminate such terrorism, we need to stand by our ally, our friend, and support in every possible way. And I just wish the United States Congress was not so paralyzed because of the leadership crisis, and that we are standing strong to help Israel as a friend in their hour of need.
All right, Democratic Congressman Shri Thanedar, thanks so much for joining us today and explaining your stance on this.
Thank you.